As the Walt Disney Company barrels ahead with their plan to, quote, turbocharge the parks with a slew of controversial installations and, quote, expansions, Disney Parks has revealed that the recent butchering of their on-property resort hotels will also continue, and the next victim on their list? The Grand Floridian lobby. Let's talk about this very controversial, quote, reimagining, and the company's continued and increasingly disturbing emphasis on alcohol consumption, here on That Park Place.
The Grand Floridian is announced a new layout and design here. Walt Disney World announces new layouts and designs for Grand Floridian Resort and Spa main lobby. Marvin Montanaro has called this Bland Floridian, and I think I might be behind it. Look at this right here. If you notice, there's a big change here. The light is shining through here. That nice sepia tone here might remind you of days gone by. And over here, there's something right here. They're going to be able to monetize this space.
Oh, goodness.
That they are adding in a bar.
Tear out they have multiple locations set up around the outside of the lobby, whether it be a shop or whatnot. It also exists on multiple levels, this lobby. It can be it's a beautiful space. And if they put a bar in there, this is disgusting. They should actually have a bar that overlooks the lobby set to the side, but that would take away one of their shops. Or they could sacrifice the several sets of janitor closets and actually rebuild some proper bathrooms for the lobby. Because right now they're embarrassingly tiny. They're essentially a coat closet in most people's house. So this is not good.
This is annoying on several levels. I will say it looks like they preserved a lot of what makes this lobby good. Of course, the birdcage looks like it's
in the concept art.
Yeah, it's true. That's a very good point. But I'll say this, okay? Because do you remember, and Culture, I know you remember. Do you remember, Culture, the band, the old Grand Floridian orchestra that used to actually perform within this space? You'll note that there was a section right there that was actually built specifically for them, which they could perform to the larger masses here. You can see them performing there in this specific space, looking down. Awesome stuff. And you could see, I believe there used to be some type of an eatery beyond that. Well, they took that and they made the Enchanted Rose bar, which is fine enough, I guess. So there's already a bar that very much exists just off the main lobby right here. And they took the space that the orchestra used to perform and they converted it to additional seating for that. And it's like, well, that's great. They first started having the orchestra play on the bottom, and they eventually got rid of them entirely, which is very, very sad. And now they've wasted no time in this grand lobby refurbishment, renovation, reimagining, whatever you want to call it. And you can see the birdcage surrounded on all sides by construction walls as, this article put up yesterday, in fact, April 14th, that is. So they have wasted no time in trying to get this bar as quickly installed as possible. Because guess what, folks? Direct revenue, they're going to be right on that. Now, if you want a new attraction, if you want a new ride, if you want a new refurb, it'll take multiple quarters right there for reasons that we've outlined in this show. But if you want a direct revenue stream, that's going up tomorrow. And really, that, I think, in a nutshell, is what Disney is prioritizing in so many ways with this story, right? They're prioritizing direct revenue streams. They're prioritizing the ability to squeeze out every single dollar that they can in every single space that they can do it. And they're putting an emphasis on bars and drinking because, well, Walt's old edicts be damned, basically. And it really is tragic to see. And by the way, the Gingerbread House, that's canceled for this year because of these new refurbishments. Who knows if that's even coming back at all. And I will say there's been some issues on these, this kind of atrium-style glass domes here. just above these chandeliers. They've had them for a while, and we've gotten no word on whether those issues will be fixed. Mickey Views, I should say, Braden over there has detailed this in quite extensively in the past. Again, this lobby does need work. It probably does need a refurbishment, but what I've seen so far hasn't exactly impressed.
Well, you know, it's
Disney is famous.
And I'll throw something in.
Yeah, well, no, I was just going to say Disney has frequently downgraded the quality of the lobbies in their castle hotels. They've gone out of their way to destroy the poly. We've talked at length about that, what would happen there, and the removal of the incredible. The Disney hates fountains now. I think that's official. But that waterfall was engaging. They downgraded the lobby in the Contemporary, and now they're going to downgrade the lobby in the Grand Floridian. And I look, if you're a fan of anything that's classic Disney, I think you'd be up in arms at this point. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people want this kind of, garbage.
Well, I'll also throw in that Disney is very, very excited about their bars these days because they just announced they're going to be using the MCU for the Doctor Strange Lounge over there on the Disney Destiny. They premiered some concept art here for that. The Sanctum is what they're calling that one. I think it's funny. I wonder if they were actually thinking about doing an Iron Man bar, and then they realized that was a little too on the nose for that character. So now they're going to be doing a Doctor Strange bar. There are some comic fans who actually understand what I'm talking about there, because don't know if you know this, but Iron Man is known as being an alcoholic. So. And apparently, maybe some of the Imagineers are too. It's so enthusiastic. There was a a presentation that Vash and I were made privy to, in which one of my least favorite Imagineering executives pointed out how excited all the young Imagineers get when they are offered the chance at designing a themed bar. It seems to be the only thing that they love doing over there at Walt Disney these days. Maybe that's just me being a little bit salty here, but that seems to be where all the love goes when they put things together. Oh, we've got a special hidden menu for you to do neat tricks on as you order your overpriced booze here.
It's so
exciting.
So weird. It's weird too, because it's not even just like revenue streams in that regard, right? Because you see the Haunted Mansion gift shop outside of Disneyland's Haunted Mansion, you go, wow, this was put up on the cheap there. But then you see like something like the themed bar on the Disney Treasure featuring the Haunted Mansion. You go, wow, okay, they spent the money. They really went all out for this thing. So like you said, Jonas, it is very interesting how Imagineering gets very enthusiastic about theme bars, but seemingly nothing else. It's very, very unusual.
I just feel like they're so enthusiastic. And of course, they're putting in a Pirates of the Caribbean bar right across from the ride now, the Tortuga Tavern or whatever name they've come up for it. I'm and of course the Haunted Mansion bar that's on what, the Treasure. I don't even care what ship it's on at this point. And the Haunted Mansion is supposed to be a childlike representation of a haunted mansion. It is supposed to be scary to kids. Yes, it is. Um, I just don't like the idea of them taking every single thing that Walt created for families and children and adding in alcohol to the mix. It's one of the reasons that Epcot is nowhere near the park that I enjoyed when I was younger. Maybe they're making more margins on that park than they used to because it is a food and beverage park. But that's why the meme exists, drinking around the world. It's why that they're chopped up the front of that park and replaced it with festival space that is so bland and boring. I just at this point I would not be surprised if something on Disney Junior ends up themed to a bar one of these days. And I actually checked. Apparently, Doctor Strange has not appeared in Spidey and His Amazing Friends on Disney Junior yet, so it hasn't happened yet. But I fully expect that it's going to happen soon. Mickey Mouse is probably the first one that they would probably go for at this point. Something that's originally for kids that they end up putting slapping a label on the wine bottle, for instance. Of course, there's the Lassiter Farms that used to have all that on it. I don't know. I'm really tired of the bars at this point. I get it. It's one of the highest markup things on property at this point, and it speaks to Disney's new audience, which is dual income, no kids, or single people with no kids. I feel like it's an indication of an attempt at a market that I don't think will be sustainable for Disney long term.
Nope. And again, it goes down to what I've been saying the entire time, Jonas, which is you have Disney abandoning the family, which means that nostalgia will not be there anymore, which means
Correct.
they don't have a flywheel. They've stuck a bat in the spoke of the flywheel, and now they're on the ground, or will be soon, saying, "You murdered me." No, you murdered yourself.
I think it's true. And looking at what Universal's doing, and Universal, they never held themselves to this particular requirement. They don't try to market themselves as a kid company. They are a movie company with a theme park arm, and it's always funny when people come after us. Well, you don't hold Universal to the same standard. Well, Universal doesn't market them as the same company as Disney. So yes, you and I both have different expectations of Universal. We all have different expectations of Universal. And by the way, Universal trending in the right direction. Disney, I don't know what Disney's doing. There'll be little signs that they might be doing the right thing, but and then we hear that they're ripping out the Grand Floridian lobby so they can put in one more bar. Who do you think's getting a bar next, guys?
Well, it's interesting. If the Haunted Mansion gift shop wasn't there at the end or the exit of the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland, I would have said maybe the Haunted Mansion itself, maybe Toontown gets a bar. If they could shove in one more, I don't know, direct revenue stream in some corner or pockets, they absolutely will. And it's just really unfortunate to see them place such an emphasis on that point. It's look, I mean, they wasted no time in getting it established. So
I think you could actually fit a bar in behind Double Dumbo, so that you could watch your kids.
right before the Pink Elephants ride. Right.
I'm just saying, it'd be kind of perfect.
Yeah, that was pretty dark back in the day when they had Dumbo, who was obviously a child character, accidentally drinking alcohol in the original movie there.
Yeah,
but also it was done in a way that kids wouldn't quite understand what's going on, and it's kind of portrayed in the negative. It was a very different time, wasn't it?
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.